All right, I'll give a quick update on Rink. So Rink's back on the floor doing some spot shooting right now, and still not doing a lot of movement at this time. He obviously will not play in tomorrow's game, and still the hope is to get him back sometime in January. Don't know exactly when that time will be. He's making progress, and he's feeling really good, but we're being very cautious with him. We got a long ways to go, got a lot of games left, and he'll be back on the floor when he's ready. But he has made significant progress since he had the procedure a couple weeks ago.
Any other personal updates?
Yeah, just Blaze continues to do. We continue to ramp up his activity. Still, everything is 1-on-0 workouts at this time, individual workouts, and hope to get him back in some form of team workout sometime in January. But right now it's still individual workouts for Blaze. Everybody else is healthy.
How was the break, just for recharging and getting everyone?
Went very fast, Wilson, as it always does. But yeah, it was a really good break. I think the guys were a little bit banged up, and it was a good opportunity for them to get home and see their families. A well-deserved break, and we've had 3 solid days of practice. That first day back's always a little bit sloppy, and a lot of them traveled back on the 26th. Yesterday was a very hard, almost tried to get them up to a game-type load, and then we backed off a little bit today. But, overall, everybody is in a good place. Everybody got back safely and on time, thankfully. The one guy that was a little bit cutting it close was Casey. He was out in western Nebraska, central to western Nebraska, and the interstate was closed on Christmas Day with the accident that I think happened right around York. So it was a little bit cutting it close. I think it took him 5 hours to get back from North Platte, but it was good to get him back.
How do you approach a break like that, just as far as evaluating, looking at what you've done, looking ahead? What are you doing, like from a season perspective?
Yeah, just really preparing for the grind ahead. And we had a good film session cleanup from the North Dakota game. Normally we come in the next day and watch offensive, defensive cleanup, and then move past the game, whatever happens, whatever the results are. So we still had a cleanup. There was plenty that we learned from that North Dakota game, and we talked to our guys at length going into that game of how dangerous that game can be, and you're playing a really good quality opponent, that got one of their main guys back with a 2-time transfer, and they played very well, and obviously got off to a big start. Second half, we handled the adversity well, which was one thing that obviously that we had to do, and then played about 12 really good, solid minutes to build that lead, going from a 14-point deficit to get a double-digit lead. So we had a lot of learning lessons from that game that we can, certainly learn from and get better as we head into our last non-conference game and then into conference play. So, good opportunity for our guys to watch that, learn from it, move past it, and then start preparing for South Carolina State tomorrow, and then we'll worry about Indiana when we get done with this game tomorrow night.
What are the keys, or is there someone who puts more emphasis on without Rink?
Well, rebounding, obviously, and that's what this team does. They're 12th in the nation in offensive rebound percentage. They get 46% of their misses. They are relentless on the glass. They go after everything. They're a very hard-playing, physical team that has good size, and they've had they had Missouri down 29-13 early in that game. They had a shot to win it on the road against UNC Asheville, who's a good, high-quality team. Pitt was a very close game at halftime, so this team is very capable. And, our job is to come in here and hopefully get off to a great start, which we did not do in our last game, and then we're clawing and fighting uphill for the majority of that game. This is an important one. We need to finish off our non-conference portion of our schedule. We've had a solid start to the season, and this is a very important game to close out our non-conference portion of the schedule, because it's a grind after. We got, I think, 4 of our first 5 are on the road after the Indiana game, and that one home game is the #1 team in the country. So we got a heck of a start. So it's important to come out tomorrow night and play good quality 40 minutes of basketball.
What's kind of a progress report on where you think Eli and Matar are at, halfway through their first year?
Yeah, I've been really pleased with both Eli and Matar. They've both gotten significantly better than when they stepped off campus, when they stepped on campus, and we're going to need those guys moving forward. Eli obviously is a guy that showed he can knock down shots, and he hit big ones against Michigan State, and he hit a big one on the road at Kansas State as we were extending our lead in that game. So, you know, we're going to need Eli to come off, especially when the ball's not going in the basket. And the thing I've been really happy with Eli is his growth on the defensive end. And it's always a big adjustment for any freshman that comes in, and you see some of these you know, top 5-star McDonald's All-Americans that aren't playing a lot of minutes right now. That's because of the adjustment period that it takes when you start your college journey. And Matar has made huge strides. And, you know, we're going to need him again tomorrow night, especially with Rink out of the lineup, to go out there and give us quality minutes. We're going to need him once conference play starts as our third big because of the size and physicality of the players in this league. But, you know, overall, right now, I've been really pleased with the development of both those guys and how well they've learned and processed, you know, along the first half of our season.
I know each game is its own entity, but have you noticed any common theme between the last 3 victories that you're like, that has to carry over if we're going to keep this going?
Yeah, you know, the big word I've used with our group is consistency. And we had a great win after 2 tough setbacks after Creighton, and especially that second half in Minnesota. But our guys really bounced back and responded and played a full 40-minute game against a Michigan State team that's playing as well as anybody in our league right now, and followed that up with a complete 40-minute game on the road at K-State, holding a team that's projected to be in the tournament right now to 46 points. You know, we did not play a consistent 40 minutes the other night against North Dakota, and, you know, we were fighting for our lives in that second half to get that win. So, you know, it's just as far as, you know, everything that we talk about with our group is about playing consistently through good times, bad times, and anything in between. You have to be a consistent basketball team in everything you're doing. We did not have a very good offensive performance against Kansas State, but we guarded through it all. You know, when the ball doesn't go in the basket, human nature is to let down a little bit on the defensive end. We did not do that for one play, especially in that second half against Kansas State. All right, thank you guys.